Hello, everybody. Welcome to Road to Endgame, a Marvel movie podcast. I'm Bronson Fiore. I'm joined by Stephanie Watkins.
Hello, hello.
You know the drill. 2 Marvel movies every week until Avengers Endgame, and then we're done with this shit.
I don't know, man. You like this a lot. You said that we could do this for other stuff.
Yeah. We're probably gonna carry it to like our personal outlet.
Yeah.
But and also the fact that we're not doing one every fucking week at that point,
Yeah.
and maybe twice a year.
Of course.
That is certainly a help. Civil War. So I want to talk about this. So as always, I want to talk about like my first viewing of this and my first opinion of this movie versus now. My first viewing of this movie, I remember liking it but not loving it, and thinking it was kind of a little bit on the bloated side.
I was the opposite. I thought that, I loved every second of it, and, I loved all the characters that they incorporated, and all of the character development that was in it, and all of the introductions that they had. I personally liked it.
And then
And I hadn't even seen Ant-Man yet.
um,
When I first watched this movie, I hadn't seen Ant-Man yet.
I definitely saw Ant-Man before this movie, but I saw Ant-Man in the weirdest possible way.
How did you see it?
I went to so I was supposed to watch not Resurrection. No, it might have been Resurrection F. It was one of the new Dragon Ball movies.
Okay.
But I go down to the theater and they are sold out for the entire week.
Oh, shit.
And it's a Tuesday, and I'm like, well, I'm down here, so I might as well watch a movie. What's showing?
What's that one song, just waking up on a Tuesday?
I don't know. But so like I was there with a friend of mine, and we're like, hey, it's Tuesday, it's cheap movie day. We should go to one of the movies instead that we miss.
Okay. Wait, you were at Riverside?
Yeah, which you can tell the time frame because I still was willingly going to go to Riverside. And we were like looking at all the movies, and all of them looked like shit, except for Ant-Man. And I was just like, oh, I mean, Ant-Man's a weird superhero to do a movie about, but fuck it, sure, why not?
I almost want to start doing that. Just go every week or something, see what the movies are in there, and then after work just go to a fucking movie. Just relax, watch a movie.
I do that on Tuesdays.
Yeah, but you can't join me because I would be going right after work.
Yeah, and I'd be going after work for me, unless my schedule changes in July. I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
I want the dream shift, 10-hour shifts, but they start at 7 in the morning.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Because
Live that life. The way we're going, my shift just got friggin', first it was 6, then it was 6:45, now it's 5:30. Soon enough, I'm going to be, going in at 5 a.m.
Yeah, but does that mean you get off a little earlier?
Yeah, it does, but there's no shuttle to take me home, so,
fair.
I'm just, sleeping on the bus for, 45 minutes, and then, I get to go home.
This is one of the many reasons why I never ever want to work for Tesla, unless the money is amazing.
The money can be when there's not a freeze.
Oh.
But yeah.
Oh.
Alright.
Or any of those warehouses out there, isn't Apple out there now? Are they gonna be out there soon?
Yeah, Apple should be doing a warehouse along with Google in the next couple of years.
Yeah, and Amazon. You work for one of those fun ones. Anyway. So.
I worked for a subsidiary of eBay once.
How's that?
It's terrible.
Sucks.
I worked for 15 days straight on a 12-hour shift. They wanted us to work 15-hour shifts sometimes. Those were, thank God, those were voluntary. Because I was not working 3 more hours. I'd be dead. Literally, I already was barely eating. I was just freaking wake up, go to work, come home, maybe eat, but go to bed.
That sounds a lot like open enrollment, except I've made the decision for open enrollment next year to only do the mandatory stuff and maybe a little extra.
Really? Because you said you were going to do that this year, and you totally tanked on that.
Oh yeah, I did way more than just the mandatory.
Yeah.
I did fucking... And
you told me that you were going to do way less, and then, like, you were like, fuck it! Money!
You know what? It got my car fixed and paid for Christmas presents for fucking everybody. So...
Yeah.
You know.
True.
This... But yeah,
this has turned into a lifestyle podcast
this
instead
is
of
what,
the movie.
This is why you and I need to start a fucking radio show. Anyway, so Civil War. So I remember thinking it being lukewarm. You remember really liking it, and rewatching this movie, and I think part of it's because I've watched every other movie in order up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus when going into this, it was very start-stop. So you saw some, didn't see others. I fucking loved this movie. Also...
No, I really enjoyed this movie as well, except I felt like it was lacking.
I still think it's a little on the bloated side, because you introduce Black Panther, and you introduce fucking Spider-Man.
Why'd you say it regular? You always say it the other way.
Black Panther. Fucking...
I don't... Racist fuck.
Why did he say it that way in the fucking movie?
Because it's an accent. That he has in Africa.
Yes, but the rest of the time he talks mostly normal. And then it's just like, it's announced like Black Panther's like, Black Panther. And I'm just like, the fuck?
Okay, we have to rewatch that.
Okay, yeah, well that's a week.
This week, yeah.
That's next week.
That's next week? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
Next week is Thor and Black Panther. This week is Guardians and Spider-Man. Anyway. Like that, and then you have the fucking whole Bucky thread, and then you have the Zemo thread, and it's just like... props, because they do all keep it all... They didn't turn it into a Batman v Superman soup. Like, it's not a fucking mess. And
you're just like, what the fuck's happening now?
Yeah, like, you can actually...
Also, why does just saying a name stop Batman from killing Superman? Oh my god, me too. Oh god, yeah, I know. We both have the same mom. We're cool now.
There's a lot of other dumb stuff about that movie.
How it's Lex Jr. instead of Lex Luthor.
I know someone who was able to write a 3-hour video about all the ways that movie is bad.
Shout them out, Bronson.
Hey, I normally don't promote Movie Bob, but you should go check out Really That Bad. And that's the thing. His normal series is really that good, where it's an hour-long thing about how a movie's a fucking masterpiece.
Okay.
And he didn't want to do Really That Bad, because he wants more positivity in, like, movie
Because you already
critique.
have CinemaSins, which just, like, freaking sins all the movies.
Yeah,
for the stupidest shit sometimes, but that's the point of their show.
Yeah, well, and also just a lot of critique around movies is negative on the internet. Even really good ones. Like, people, like, watch fucking, like, The Empire Strikes Back, and, like, here's all the way Empire Strikes Back sucks. You know? So, like, you want to do some of that. But, like, Batman v Superman was so fucking terrible that he, like, was just like, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do it at all, but I'm going to do Really That Bad of Batman v Superman. So...
Alright, cool.
Anyway, so...
It opens up with the team working together. Not everybody is there. And Wanda is one of the main peeps now, like one of the Avengers now. So she goes ahead and tries to help as much as she can. She gets the gas out of the first building, but she accidentally blows up another one because she was trying to...
There was actually something before this.
What?
In the fucking Arctic, Bucky.
Oh, right. Bucky was brainwashed, crashed a car, and there was, like, the super soldier serum.
Yep.
That he stole from the back. Now, we already know, pretty much, like, who it is, because who had the super soldier serum? Fucking Stark. So, it was clearly the Starks.
No, they imply that it was Hydra. That even later in the movie, they torture that Hydra guy to get the fucking information.
No, but I mean, like, when he opens the
trunk. Right, okay.
The super soldier serum.
Right. Right. They were
who fucking helped invent it, Stark.
Yeah.
I don't know where you were going with
Sorry, go.
Ahead.
Well, anyway. The original super soldier serum, that is a tongue twister.
It is.
Was invented by the other scientist in First Avenger. Yeah. Remember, he's like, why do you want to fight Nazis?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, who took over it after he died?
Yeah.
Stark.
And then he was apparently successful.
Seeing as how he was dead, and it gave us a time frame, it couldn't have been that guy in the car.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
You're making this way more complicated than
Go on.
It opens up with that. So it actually opens up with that, but like our Avengers movie, our Captain America Avengers movie, opens up with them trying to catch this one bad guy that they've been fighting like constantly, and it keeps getting away.
Yeah, he's the if you remember Winter Soldier, which you should because you're probably watching along with us. You should have seen the scene in the elevator where Cap fights like a bunch of dudes, and this is the dude who's like, hey, it's nothing personal, and then Cap whoops the shit out of him as like, it feels personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
But yeah, no, so he turns himself into a bomb, and Wanda tries to once again save the day, but she can't hold all of that force because she's not used to it. She hasn't practiced, like, internalizing force and stuff like that, so she accidentally blows up a part of the building, which coincidentally it was the building where Wakanda was trying to freaking do peace things at, so that was fun. And so people are fearing her and seeing her like power, goes to Stark doing like a symposium like type deal, like introducing a grant to the school.
Yeah, MIT.
And he gets confronted by this one woman. Like, it shows that he's not with Pepper.
Yeah, and that's like the Foundation Pepper Potts. And then he's just like, go break some eggs. And then said, like, he pauses. And then's like, go break some eggs.
Well, no. It was just like, now I'd like to introduce our CEO, Pepper Potts.
Yeah, that was what it, yeah.
Not our founder.
No, the head of the Foundation. That was the... okay, well, that's what it says. It's like the head of the Foundation, Pepper Potts. I'm pretty sure.
No, she's the head of the company, not the head of the Foundation.
Yes, but this is a separate foundation. This isn't Stark Industries. It's a fucking grant program.
This is why we shouldn't wait too long after
Okay.
Because we are remembering things quite differently.
Anyway,
semantics.
This is a fucking small detail, but anyway, the name Pepper Potts shows up on fucking screen.
And he's supposed to introduce her, and, because that is where the funding comes from, but he's the one that headed the project.
Yep.
So,
anyway.
So he goes to get an elevator, and like, this woman is just waiting for him, and he thinks that he's gonna attack her, but she's just like, no, this is my son who was like at Sokovia trying to help, but like his gap year wasn't to find himself, it was to help people, essentially, and like you killed him.
And you dropped a fucking building on him.
No, she dropped a freaking like
continent on him.
Not even. No. First you went too small, now you're too big. What is wrong with you today? A city. It's a city, Bronson.
A country.
I hate you so much.
A state. A province.
If you can't tell, I'm hitting him.
That probably shows up loud enough.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, they don't know what the sound is from. I'm explaining to them that
they would probably assume.
Anyway, we're going to say anyway about 50 times in this freaking, like, session. Bronson's loopy.
I am, yeah. It's not often that we get the other side.
I'm normally the loopy one because I'm tired all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so... We have the color scheme of darkness and everything. We don't have the color scheme that was starting to be introduced in all of the movies after Galaxy. So, no, it's definitely something bad's going to happen because you have such a bleak, like surrounding.
That's actually something that the Marvel movies do really well as, like, color palette.
Yeah.
Like, they're, like color palette... color palette really explains what the hell is going on in a lot of cases. When we get to Infinity War, there's actually something really fucking awesome about color palette in that movie that I'll tell you. Don't worry, it's still recording. Something really awesome about color palette I'll tell you. Mm-hmm. Because it's like super sick in that movie when it comes regards to that. No, so at this point, so they're like, they go meet with General Ross and like, look, they explain the Sokovia Accords, which what the Sokovia Accords are. It's a big book about how like the United Nations is like
they have too much power and freedom, and they think they can do whatever they want, and this is how Sokovia happened.
And this is how, and like some of the Avengers argue like, they initially they all argue like, well, no, we need to help people. I'm just like, well, you're helping people, costs this. Look at this, the Avengers, and I'm like, the Avengers is like the one where I'm like, oh, come on, this one's a little iffy.
In all reality, like, Loki wanted to, like, conquer Earth, not because the Avengers were there, but because he wanted his own world, and he's been to Earth, and he saw it as weak, so he thought that was the perfect opportunity, or perfect, like environment to take over.
Like, Sokovia is 100% on the Avengers.
And it's already confirmed that he was also brainwashed, so...
Yeah, no, that's
That's a huge thing. Which, super glad, because I like that guy.
Really like Loki?
Yeah, I do. But yeah, no, so Tony, like, pretty much starts explaining, like, hey, this kid was trying to fucking do the best thing, and we killed him. Essentially. It's just like, I think we should, like, we're a big gun, and we don't have control.
Right.
And I think somebody should have, like, the safety on, essentially.
Yeah, and then, so this movie, one of the reasons I like it, has a lot of political philosophy in it. Like, a lot. Because there's always been an argument about government or establishment control versus the control of individuals. And it's really interesting to see, actually, how over the course of the movies... And in this movie, it's like a full-on swap of, like, Tony, at the beginning of his fucking arc in all these movies, was, like, all about individualism and a lack of control. And Steve Rogers was the opposite, because he was Captain fucking America.
Right.
You don't get much more for the government than that.
Which, it's funny that he's Captain America... And it's Iron Man, the freaking, like, billionaire playboy philanthropist that, like, they're on the opposite sides of this argument when originally...
Like, if you would have asked them at the beginning of their first movies, it would have totally been switched.
Oh, yeah. No, because Cap, through his first movie, he does both. He not only thinks that rules should be followed, but also thinks that when they should be broken, they should be broken, because he was ordered to stay, and he brought a team with him to go save Buck and all the other dudes.
Yeah.
And he was able to take down the whole of Hydra while doing it. So...
And then, Iron Man, like, he's so... What the movie poses as an argument on political philosophy is like, do you value safety but control from an establishment, or do you value just overall individual freedom? And that's a very interesting concept.
So I think it also boils down to, like, I was watching the show The Orville, and, like, a good argument was brought up because, like, they were doing an Earth where, like, the public opinion decided if a criminal, like, lived or died.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked, but okay.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, everyone has a voice to be able to control this. Mm-hmm. But is it, like, opinion, is opinion overruling logic?
Well, not only that, but, like, Captain America's argument in this is, like, people have agendas.
Yeah,
and, like, people,
but that totally plays into what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like,
if they're controlled they're controlled by the people, like by any entity that isn't on the front lines, then they don't know. Just like we have, okay, so like even at my work, we have engineers that don't know what we do throughout the day. Okay? And they tell us, even though we're doing shit all day, oh, do this side project, you can do it. And I'm just like, you don't even know what we do. Like, how can you dictate what else we can do if you don't even know what we do? That's kind of the thing of like an entity controlling the Avengers. So I guess when it comes down to it, like they should have more meetings. Like okay, so I first agreed with Iron Man because it's like, yeah, no, somebody should have capped your ass and said, no, you did it anyway. You know, like creating Ultron, all that other stuff.
Yeah, like all the other ones, I'm like, okay, that's not really completely on them. They just kind of helped stop it.
He pretty much wanted a muzzle on himself.
Yeah, and then like Sokovia and Ultron, like that's like, yeah, that's my bad. That's what that was.
Yeah, no, exactly. But like he pretty much just wants a muzzle on himself. But by doing that, he's putting a muzzle on everyone. And in all reality, I think the people on the front lines can make better decisions than the ones like. That's why I kind of like the military aspect, like because of the fact that when you're going, hey, can we go do this? Most of the time, the guy you're talking to has been in the thick of it. That's why he's there, to give you guidance, to give you orders, And so he can say yay or nay on the situation if it's too dangerous, if blah, blah, blah. And it actually doesn't happen like it does in the movies. Normally, the guy's not a hard ass going, don't save those people in that building because it's under fire. They literally will go, yeah, no, try your best. But if it gets too bad, get out of there immediately.
Yeah, in military leadership, if you talk to anyone who's been in the military who, got up to that level, they'll say, it's, ultimately my job is to get the mission done and reduce casualty as much as possible. So, that's what that is. And then, so yeah, it's very much an interesting dynamic because when this movie came out, I knew so many people who were arguing about who was right or not. It is an interesting debate because this has literally been something in political discourse since the 1700s. This is literally something that humanity has decided is worth arguing about for 300 fucking years.
Well, I mean, we were founded on people going, we should go against our rulers.
Yeah, no, this country in particular was very much just fuck the federal government.
Yeah.
They lost their shit over a 3% increase in tea tax.
And then they freaking instead of in the biblical sense of making the freaking rivers filled with blood, they filled it with tea.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. There's actually, there's, if you look into some of the stuff regarding the American Revolution and the Articles of Confederation, it is a fucking you read that shit, you're like, it is a miracle this country exists.
Right.
If you read the Articles of Confederation, you will be like, how the fuck did this country happen? So yeah, failing upwards. There you go. Anyway, yeah.
I just wanted to, I'm sorry, this is on par with what happened with the beginning of our country, but not the movie. Fun fact, Jefferson and it was Jefferson and Franklin. They went to France before they started all this shit because they knew they wouldn't be able to take a break for a while, and it was years, right? So they screwed all over France and went, okay, we're good, went back, and then started the fucking revolution.
I mean, if you know you're gonna be busy for the next 9-10 years. Like,
then you get busy.
Yeah, then you get busy all over France. Yeah, so it's that's actually one of the things that kind of bumped this movie up a point for me, was just like the just the immense amounts of political philosophy from the Russo brothers. Those are writer-directors of these. Also, it's interesting that they're brothers.
I like it.
Yeah.
Feels like their dynamic is very cohesive.
Yeah. So they have this big argument, and then they go to the Accords, and Captain America decides, fuck that, I don't agree with this shit.
Yeah, but he still technically like goes.
Yeah.
Like, but that's in a different context.
Undercover in a hat.
Well, no, he doesn't choose to go until after what we're about to say.
Yeah. And
so Black Panther's dad, like the king of Wakanda, starts speaking, and Black Panther, who's like over by the window more, don't know why, that's actually a weird placement for him, sees that there's something wrong out in the street. And so he's just like, everyone get away from the window, and he tries to run towards his dad, and there's this huge explosion, his dad dies, and like he's just like, revenge! And of course, because he's blinded by it, like, they produce, like, this image that looked like Bucky.
Mm-hmm.
That was, like, a part of that explosion.
Mm-hmm.
But see, he hasn't been under Hydra control in a while, so how can it be him?
Right, and then you have the whole,
like, Captain America immediately goes to where was it? Where was it held?
That's a good question. That's an excellent question. Where the Sokovia Accords were held? Were they held in Sokovia? What was left of it?
No, of course they didn't.
Fucking city, like, oh god. But no. So I like how, like, after the explosion and whatnot, Black Widow goes up to Black Panther and is like, yo, your father was a great man. Vienna?
It was I believe it was Vienna.
It was Vienna. I'm pretty sure now that you mentioned the name.
Yeah.
So you get this... you get this moment where, like, Black Widow's like, hey, we'll find the guy. It's like, don't bother. I'm gonna fucking go murder this motherfucker myself.
Yeah, and Black Widow also looks at Cap and is just like, don't get into this. And he's just like, I'm the only one that, like, won't die trying to freaking, like, get him out of there.
Yeah.
And, like, she's just like, if you do this, you're pretty much,
you'll
like,
be a fugitive.
Yeah. And he's just like, are you going to arrest me? And she's just like, somebody will.
Yeah.
And, you know, it goes through, and Black Panther, introduced as, like, the prince, now king of Wakanda.
And they give the entire backstory of what the Black Panther is when talking to Black Widow. They actually do it in, like, a really smart, quick way.
Yeah.
But, you know.
But yeah, no, and they get captured. Buck, Cap, and Cap's trying to get Buck to stop killing people on the way out of this situation. Because he's just like, dude, come on.
Oh.
like, at one point, he was literally like, Buck, come on. And I thought that was really funny, because it's just like they're having character development during this giant-ass fight!
Yeah, this really big set piece where you, like, see the Winter Soldier and fucking Captain America just take out, like, 50 SWAT dudes in a, like, stairway.
And Cap's trying to save all of them, and Bucky doesn't care because he's just like, they're trying to kill me anyway. Why the hell should I care if I kill them?
I did like that part of the fights, like, the fight scene where, like, fucking Bucky knocks over Captain America and goes in for the punch with his robot arm, puts through the floorboards to grab a bag.
Yeah, like he was doing it for effect, but also to just grab his backpack.
Yeah, that was cool. Then you get that big chase where it's like, okay, you have through traffic where it's like you have Winter Soldier and then he's being chased by Captain America and he's being chased by Black Panther.
And we find out that Cap's like accustomed to newer cars.
Yeah.
Like, he can drive.
He can drive now.
He can drive.
To be fair, there's not that much of a difference from an old car and a new car as far as
That's very
driving.
true, but like old cars were like all like stick.
Most, yeah. But I guess, like, it'd be easier to drive a new car then.
Yeah.
You just put it in drive and go. You don't have to deal with pedals.
But I mean, like, he didn't analyze anything. He just got in it and went. So, of course, he's had, like, it shows that...
Years to learn a new fucking car.
Not years, like...
It's been years.
3 years.
It's 5.
5? Okay. Well,
because
then, yeah, so...
the first Avenger came out in 2011, and that's where it ends in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
And then this came out in 2016. They're supposed to be set in real time.
Alright, well then yeah, 5 years. So you would hope that he would find a way to, like, learn how to drive in 5 years. He learned how to use a smartphone in 5 years.
He did. He really checked off a lot of that list from Winter Soldier.
No, he totally did, because at the end of his second movie, like, he was listening, he got to the end of his list because he was listening to that soundtrack. But yeah, no, and so he saves, so they're incarcerated, and our main villain dude, like, pops up, and, like, meanwhile, while all this stuff is happening, he grabbed the book that can re-brainwash Bucky, and
from a Hydra agent in, like, hiding.
Yeah.
Like, he flips him upside down, and Drown's like, yeah, you don't need to die, just tell me what's going on.
And the dude was just like, Hail Hydra, and, like, he freaking drowned.
Drown's death.
Yeah.
It's fucking... What?
I don't...
It's such a fucked up scene. It's such a weird scene.
He's gonna get the book anyway. Why the fuck would you, like, be, like...
Like, and also, dude, you're retired, like...
Like, nobody's gonna fucking find you.
Yeah, like, you know...
Hydra is literally destroyed. You're in hiding. Like...
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to reform. You can have that freaking hope, but literally just be like, I got robbed. But, you know, at the same time, Hydra has done such bad things to people who didn't, like, go by order, so I think he, like, that was the best way he could die. Because if Hydra did reform and they found his ass, they would have tortured him to death instead of just drowning him.
And then Zemo also is, like, in this hotel ordering, like, black coffee and bacon and making a giant-ass EMP, which is, like, the funniest thought in my world, just, like, imagine, like, sitting up in a bed and breakfast, murdering the actual dude who's in that bed and breakfast before the staff sees, and just racking up bacon and coffee while building a giant EMP in this bed and breakfast. It's a really funny thought to me.
And he was considerate enough to be like, hey, come into the thing so you can find the dead body. Like, it's not considerate that the girl found the dead body, but it's considerate to where he was just like, it had to be done, but I'm not going to let him just rot in there, you know, for forever.
Yeah. Yeah, like bacon and black coffee.
But
such a weird breakfast.
No, he got eggs too. But
he just got bacon and black coffee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Super fucking weird.
Yeah, I used to drink my coffee black.
Yeah, I can never do that.
Yeah, I like eventually.
I can't taste the flavors unless it has like cream and sugar in it, and then I can like really get into it because I can't even like taste the hazelnut in a hazelnut coffee until it has like cream and sugar in it.
Yeah, I just kind of just bounced off of black coffee unless it's really high quality coffee.
Yeah.
That's the only time where because like at work, like I tried drinking the coffee black, and I'm just like, oh, it's poison. So we already have the world's shittiest coffee even when you put stuff in it.
But yeah, so it goes through, and the dude that he killed was the psychiatrist that was supposed to evaluate Buck, and instead he brainwashes him for his own means. He gets the location of like Siberia or something like that, right?
Yeah, something like a facility of where the super soldiers are.
And so the whole the power goes out because he sends that EMP to the local
power grid.
And he and so that goes out. He's able to brainwash Buck, and then like Bucky is Winter Soldier. Like he goes and tries to freaking get him out. That's his objective. And he wrecks both Cap and
Tony.
No, it wasn't Tony.
No, he does wreck Tony at one point.
Well, he does wreck Tony, but I'm talking about getting out of there.
Oh, Falcon.
Falcon.
Yeah.
He wrecks Falcon, and No, his name is Hot Guy now. Hot Guy.
Hot Guy.
Hot Guy. Like Hawkeye, but like just Hawk Guy.
He's a hawk and a guy.
Anyway,
Too
like
much sugar
Tony, even though he doesn't have like his suit with him because he was trying to like be,
he has part of a suit.
He has his hand.
He has his hand guns. Literal.
He has one.
He has a handgun.
Yeah.
And like he,
and he's actually able to stave off Buck for a little bit.
Like a minute, if that.
I mean, that's more than what a regular man should be able to do.
Yeah, and then like he catches the gun and Bucky fires the gun, but because the fucking arm thingy's safe, and like Tony goes, "Oh, this motherfucker's gonna shoot me."
Yeah, like he's just like he really isn't in his right mind. But he doesn't necessarily connect the dots that he's like Winter Soldier. Like he just goes, Bucky's lost it.
Yeah. Like
a lot of people don't understand Bucky's predicament in this movie.
This is actually one of Robert Downey Jr.'s best acting performances out of the MCU in my mind. Maybe his best, actually.
Yeah.
Because like there are several scenes where I'm just like, he sells it. So, and that was one of them. Just the shock when he like catches the bullet and like, oh.
Oh, he was actually, like, before all of this was happening, he also explained why Pepper, like, left him. He's just like, I don't blame her. I never stopped. Like I said, I would stop making suits, and I never stopped because, like, I just want her to be safe, but in doing so, I'm pushing her away from me, and it's for the best, honestly, because, like, at least she's safe, and that's what I want. If I can't have her, then I at least know that she can be safe. Mm-hmm. Like, type of thing. And that was actually, like, a noble, like... thing, you know, and like that was his next persuasion to Cap, and he was trying to like really get on the level with him. Like I like, you know, like it seemed like my dad liked you more than me. I hated you for the longest time.
Yeah, they have this really good character moment between the two, like where it's just like they both explain their perspective on it. Where it's 10 minutes like if I see a situation like going bad, like I can't fucking just let it go to shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, Tony's, like, you know, all his background stuff. It's a really good character moment. And then the sides kind of just both start assembling. Because Cap is like, okay, I need to go get Bucky and fucking get him, like, out of here. And there's another chase scene where Captain America holds a fucking helicopter in place.
Mm-hmm. And so, like, they essentially crash into the river where he finally gets knocked out so he can get jogged back into his right mind, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And he's being held. Falcon is on his side. And they're like, oh shit, like, well, like, how do we know that you're you? And like, he was like, he named his mom and like what they did and stuff like that. And so, like, and Falcon's just like, is that it? Is that how we're going to just trust him?
Yeah.
And like, Cap, because this just... Sorry. This just truly shows that Cap really should have explained Bucky's fucking, like, predicament. Because everyone just thinks he's the Winter Soldier. When in all reality, that's him brainwashed. No one actually, like, knows that when he's the Winter Soldier, he doesn't remember anything from his old life. And when he's Bucky, he remembers everything from his old life. And there is not this established... I feel like he dropped the ball on that one throughout these movies because... Even when Buck went into hiding, he could have just been like, hey guys, so this is his predicament, so you know in the future, if he resurfaces again, he shouldn't be a bad guy. But no, he is neglectful. He neglects freaking, like, and shooting forward in the movie, he neglects freaking telling Iron Man that he knew who killed his parents. He neglects telling the team about Bucky's, like, freaking true, like, problems. Like, Cap is neglectful.
I think the team knows about Bucky. I think that, especially later on, I think that the general public doesn't give a fuck.
No, but that's not the point.
As for his parents, you know why. They explain that in the letter at the end, but we'll get there.
I know, but like, okay, so which kind of reinforces why he couldn't like lift the hammer.
Yeah.
But anyway, No, but, like, Cap is neglectful. He talks about, like just being a team, and, like, that's all they need, but he's not even a team player. He gets on Tony in the first Avengers for not being a team player, not telling them, and, like, even in Avengers 2, like, oh, you're not being a team player, you're not telling us about your plans, and it's just like, you don't tell us everything either, Cap. Why the fuck is the pot calling the kettle black?
I think that, other than the Bucky thing, like, Captain America hid two things, and neither of them resulted in a near robot apocalypse.
Yeah, but that's just because he didn't have as much power in those things. Like, in all reality, like, if the super soldiers had gotten out, you know,
like I think the Bucky thing, like, yeah, that's a big one.
Like, but that not only hurts the team, but it also hurts Bucky.
Yeah, like the Tony's parents thing, like, you know, that one I could understand. That one I get. I understand.
That one they should have had a conversation about a long time ago.
Yeah, but like,
they shouldn't have kept that away from them.
But I get why he did it.
And Tony didn't understand the technology, but all he was trying to do was make a security system for everybody.
Yeah, but you know my statement on that.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions. I get it.
Yes.
But no, we shoot forward. To this big ass scene because they're gathering forces. Like, they're on the Lamb, and like Iron Man's side is like trying to bring them in because they don't want the government to bring them in. They have 36 hours to bring them in.
Well, okay, so it's Iron Man. So Iron Man and Black Widow. Like, Black Widow's like, I know a guy. It's just like, I know a guy too, and then Cap's side is just like, Sam. Like, they're like, okay, well, we can't fucking get Tony to help us, even if the Accords let us help.
Yeah, they have Hawkeye come out of retirement. And Falcon brings in Ant-Man. And Hawkeye brings in Wanda.
Yeah, and then Tony obviously gets Vision, and then goes to recruit Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And goes to get the Black Panther, because obviously Black Panther would be on their fucking side.
Yeah.
So, like, you get to see, like, the nice little recruitment scene of Peter Parker, you know, and you get to see which that was a really great scene, a little bit of Aunt Bay. God, she's fine for how old she is. Dear Jesus. I
just like the fact that, like, she knows he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, moving forward in the movies. If you haven't seen them, it's been years, guys.
Yeah, at this point, Homecoming's 2 years old.
Yeah.
This movie is 3.
It's a whole toddler.
Yeah. So. But anyway, so.
But yeah, no, so you have this fight scene, and, like, what I liked is, like, the people who didn't want to fight the others. Like, I liked how Vision just wanted to, like, Vision hurt Wanda, but then he was like, I'm really sorry. I'm doing the greater good.
Like Black Widow and Hawkeye, it's just like... Black Widow and Hawkeye, are we still friends after this? Depends on how hard you hit me.
No, but I like that because, like, even though they're having an argument, quote unquote, they're just fighting. But, like, even though they're having an argument, like, afterwards, like, it's just business. It's just trying to figure out, like what's best for them and the world.
The only people where this shit is personal is, like, Black Panther,
Captain America, and Iron Man.
Yeah, everyone else is just like we're here to fucking...
No, and even the kids just like, oh my gosh, like, blah, 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 and, like, Falcon's even like, you know, you're not supposed to talk, right? Like, you're not supposed to have, like, a conversation with your enemy.
This is a really cool set piece. Like, I know it's not, like, okay, original Civil War where it was, like, fucking 100 dudes, but, like, for the movies, this was really cool.
That would have been, like, we don't have enough setup to have more dudes.
I think we're gonna get that in, like, a decade, and they're gonna get like Chris Evans out of retirement for one movie, and the fucking audience is gonna lose their shit.
Lose their goddamn
Like, I think that's what's gonna fucking happen, is, like, we're gonna go 10 years without Captain America and a lot of these dudes.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're gonna do, like, Civil War 2, and the teaser's gonna have fucking Captain America and Iron Man in it, and everyone's gonna lose their fucking mind.
That'd be funny if they just, like, if, like, the Avengers versed, like, old and new, versed just, like, freaking X-Men.
Yeah. That's going to be a thing. I'm willing to bet that, like, they're already writing something about that.
No, for sure.
So, you have this really awesome, like, set piece of, like, just this big airport battle where, like, Tony and War Machine can run Bucky and Cap and Sam.
Yeah.
And, like, Tony's like, I've had enough. Underoos!
Yeah.
And just fucking Spider-Man flips in, steals the shield, and just has a little awkward dialogue. He's just like, okay, no more, no, you're good. You're good. And then just like...
No, like, because he's trying to hide the fact that this is a teenager that he's brought to this goddamn fight. And I feel like that's super freaking irresponsible of him to bring a teenager to this fight!
You mean the fight with the super soldiers and the robot suits that have fucking rocket launchers on them?
Yes! I think that if you're like 15, it's inappropriate.
But no, and then like Ant-Man is on the shield, goes big, kicks Spider-Man, gets the shield, like, here's your shield, Captain America. I love how he is so geeked.
He's trying to stay so like professional, but in it, it's just so awkward.
Like, it's so awkward, and you can tell he is just fanboying over Captain America.
Yes.
Which, I'm gonna be honest, anyone who is like, who wouldn't fanboy in that universe over meeting Captain America?
But moving on, what about that scene where it's just like 5 minutes of Black Widow just shooting friggin' Black Panther so Buck and Cap can get away?
We'll get to that. That's the end of the fight. I want to go a little bit in
what
order.
I'm saying is it's just like, no, you even commented on it. Just like every time, it's like a freeze tag game.
Just like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. Oh,
for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but no. So you have the fucking. And then you have
Dear Christ.
And then you have the Spider-Man fighting Bucky and Falcon thing. Which, can we talk about that? How that's actually super impressive. Spider-Man
fighting Bucky and Falcon, yeah.
Yeah, and also technically won. He takes out fucking Falcon.
No, Falcon freaking like shoots him away at the end, and I just love the dialogue in between. It's like, you couldn't have done that earlier. I hate you.
I hate you. He webs both of them up, kicks them over on the ground, but Falcon jetpacks him, and it's just like, I hate you. So you couldn't have done that earlier. I hate you.
Right.
Then you have Iron Man versus Vision and Hawkeye at first. It's just a lot of they do the battle really well. Like all these different fucking POVs and shit. Of course. Personally, I really liked when Ant-Man got inside of Tony's suit. This is your conscience.
We don't talk much.
And then Sony
flushes him out.
The suit, yeah. That was...
Although, I did note that Friday has, several different freaking, accents until she settles on one in freaking Infinity War.
Then you have...
it makes you think how many before, Jarvis had his own, which turned into Vision.
Yeah.
How many, did he go Western on him at one point?
And then you think they're gonna get away, and then just Vision comes in. This big-ass laser beam. But while that's going on, okay, so we need an escape plan. It's just
there's a thing in there's a plane in the hangar that we can take.
Yeah, but then they're also okay, we need another escape plan. How are you gonna distract them? And it's okay, I got something they could use, but I've only done it once in a lab, and afterwards I slept for a week. But okay, going big. Oh!
No, but he's just on my signal. What's the signal? You can't miss it.
You can't miss it. He just cranks it up, becomes Giant Man, and it's just like...
And he literally just like, oh!
That's like evil.
You dork! You're such a dork, and I love you! Oh my goodness.
Ant-Man is my MCU counterpart.
He is your man crush Monday, for sure.
Ant-Man is best MCU here. He's so fucking...
But no, everybody else is like, oh, what the hell?
Everyone, and then like...
Oh, and even War Machine, like, he throws like a freaking like tank at him and it explodes. He's just like, I really thought that was like a water tank. I'm sorry.
Or no, that was Captain America. Like Ant-Man like hands Captain America a little tiny water.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, throw this, then throw this disc at it. Throws it, fucking blows up. Oh, I thought it was a water truck.
I'm sorry, my bad. And you know what? They are kind of like built the same way, so you can't really like fault him. He's not used to like identifying water and fire trucks.
He's not used to doing a lot of superhero shit. He's used to doing kung fu and shrinking. Yeah, so, and being an electrical engineer and working at Baskin-Robbins.
Baskin-Robbins always finds out.
Baskin-Robbins still play.
So, but yeah, no, so they're going forward and they find that they're going to go to a hangar. Hawkeye is just like, some of us are going to have to be sacrificed, so just go. Like...
I like Tony's line during this Giant Man setup, just like, does anybody on our side have any fantastic or amazing powers they want to show now?
Oh my gosh. No, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
And then they have to take out Giant Man. And Peter Parker, has anyone seen that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back? No.
Like, Tony, how old is this kid?
How old is it? He's a little on the young side, okay?
I didn't check his birth, I didn't check his, like, freaking, like, I think you said, like, birth certificate.
Yeah, something like that. And then, Giant Man is defeated. Black Panther has his fucking, like, Black Widow turns heel.
Yeah.
And stops Black Panther, because, I mean, for all we know, Black Panther could stop the fight right there.
Yeah.
But no, Black Widow tases Black Panther into just,
for like 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah. They get the jet out, and they fly off. Tony and War Machine go to chase them. Vision shoots a beam trying to hit the fucking plane, but it ends up hitting Rhodey, War Machine's arc reactor.
And he just falls. And like, and it's just this scene where everybody's holding their breath because both Falcon and Tony are trying to get to him before he hits the ground. And he passes out before he hits the ground, but like he hits the ground.
Yeah. And like just... you see inside the helmet the POV of nothing in this machine is on. To stop this.
While he's like falling, yeah. And he couldn't even like talk to Tony. He's just like, I'm dead in the air.
I got a dead stick here.
Yeah. And it just like it almost makes you want to cry because you're just like, oh shit, no one was supposed to get hurt.
And War Machine is paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I like
from the waist down.
And I like how Falcon tries to go up to Tony. He's like, dude, I'm sorry, and just like Tony just shoots him.
Yeah. And he takes the helmet off and he sees that like he definitely also has a concussion.
Yeah. And Tony is just like Tony like looks up and is like about to cry but also pissed. Like once again, this is probably his strongest acting job in the MCU is this movie.
Exactly.
Which is hilarious because it's not his movie. And
well, it's Robert Downey Jr. Of course, he's gonna steal the show.
Yeah. So Tony goes to the raft, as it's known, which, if you know Marvel, it's typically by New York City, but for some reason the MCU, it's in the middle of the ocean.
Right.
It's a super high underground like prison for, well, in Marvel Comics it's traditionally for mutants, but this one it's for supers of any kind.
Right.
And it's all of them are in prison, and he goes to talk to And Tony goes to talk to each of them one by one to get information.
Right.
Because he's suspicious of what the fuck is going on. And you have this thing of... you have this thing where he gets to, Sam Wilson, the Falcon, and, like, Tony, like, mutes their audio. Like, he hacks on their system and mutes audio. He's like, okay, really, what the fuck is happening?
And he's just like, I know you don't want to trust me, but, like, you know, if I can talk to me. What is Cap's actual side? Because we haven't actually had time to talk.
Yeah, what is, like, the city explains the super soldier thing and all that shit.
And how, like, the dude wasn't the actual dude.
Yeah.
How, like, he brainwashed him, and so Buck's not actually, like, crazy. He was just turned crazy, and he wasn't even at the... Because, like, they not only found the dead guy, but also prosthetics to make him look like Bucky.
Yeah.
So, it was, like, it was finally revealed that, like, oh, it wasn't Bucky's fault. Yeah. Bucky's actually good unless he's brainwashed. Okay, let's go help them.
And then Ross asks Tony if he found anything. Nope, but I'll let you know.
I like to keep you on hold.
Yep. And then immediately he goes into an Iron Man suit and flies off to chase Bucky and Cap.
He puts like a cloaking device like for himself and like lets the plane like keep going.
Yeah, and then you see Black Panther hidden in his.
I liked how suspicious and calculating he is.
Black Panther in this movie is such a badass.
Yes, very much so.
He is such an unbelievable badass in this movie.
Yes.
So they get to the facility, the Hydra facility, and Tony is like, yo, hey. It's like, how you doing? Just like, then like they explain what's going on. And then Tony, Bucky's telling me, I'm just like, calm down, I'm on your side now.
Yeah.
And they get to the super soldier facility, and they're all fucking dead.
Yeah, we did not expect that.
I really liked that red herring. Because like, it very much could have been like, oh, they team up and beat the bad guys.
Yeah.
Which very much would have been like what DC does.
Yeah, no, of course.
That would have been very much a DC type thing. But instead, they're like, no, it's fucking dead. I did this because you dropped fucking buildings on my entire family and they're dead.
And now I want to destroy you.
Now I like an empire that is conquered by its enemies can still rise again. One that falls from the inside is dead. And shows, and then like he shows the video of Winter Soldier doing, you know, what he did.
Yeah, and he's just like, I know that car, says Tony.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why he goes ballistic is because Cap knew about it.
Yeah.
He would have calmed down if Cap hadn't known about it.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that like Bucky killed his parents, and like that's been weighing on his mind lately. Freaking and then Cap going like, I was trying to protect you. That's when you see like a switch just flip in Iron Man's like.
Well, you just see it in his eyes.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying.
Like, and you one of the best lines, and there are a lot of good lines from Tony in this section of like you know, Bucky tries to explain it. And he's just like, I don't care, you killed my mom.
Yeah.
And they start the fight scene up the missile silo, and Zemo is just going to the fucking, is just like, all right, my work is done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Goes to the top and sits on the cliff and is just sitting there eating and chilling.
Iron Man up against two super soldiers, like, I am super happy that, like, he pretty much almost won.
He almost won, but, you know, apparently that's soon.
He even got rid of Bucky's entire freaking arm.
He took out Bucky, but could not take out Cap, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, because Cap's also, like, smart. Bucky's kind of crazy, so he can't think straight.
Yeah, like, Cap is...
Like, Bucky's more instinctually fighting, and Cap is more calculative.
Well, so you have the missile silo thing where they're falling and going up and down, and, like, Tony is, like, flight gets disabled, but, like, he has one hand and is climbing. And they all get knocked back down in that, like, hallway area. Yeah. And that's when, like, the real fucking fight begins. And it's just there's not... And it's one of my favorite MCU fight scenes. It might be my favorite out of the ones we've watched so far. It's either this or Iron Man 3, in regards to the crazy fucking 100 suits and him go flying in and out of the suits. But this one is just a knockout, emotional brawl. And you just, like, you see fucking Captain America and Bucky teaming, throwing the shield back and forth. But you know, and Bucky gets incapacitated. And it's just like, you know, they're fighting back and forth, and it's just like, it's like, you know, Tony, he's my friend. And, like, Tony's like, so was I. And just, you know, just this, it's just a fucking just drag out fist fight.
No, it is. And like, it's like sad, and then it pans, okay, so the scene switches to outside, where he's listening to that message again, and then, like, he finally reveals it's just like, yeah, I thought everybody was going to be fine, and, like, they were on the outskirts of the city. By the time I got back, like, my father was holding my wife and my child in his arms still, like, under the rubble.
Yep.
And, like, so Black Panther's just like, we need to stop living by revenge. We need to stop having revenge, like, rule us, and I'm done with it myself. And Zemo tries to kill himself, and Black Panther stops it, and he's just like, the world of the living isn't done with you yet.
Yeah.
Like, I loved every, like, it's like every line of his is very well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed him talking.
Yeah, I enjoyed him as a whole. Like, that whole scene with him, like, listening to the recording of his family, Zemo listening to the recording of his family, and the Black Panther, like, being like, nah, the world's gonna judge you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, like, you're not getting...
The living aren't done with you yet.
Yeah, like, that was fantastic. Cuts back to the fight, and, like, Tony is getting his ass kicked and, like, analyze fight pattern, and he starts to fucking win against Captain America. And I loved this so much.
And this is what our background is, too.
Yeah. Just Tony lasering the shield. Such a good, fucking iconic moment.
Mm-hmm.
So great. And then you cut to the moment where, like, Tony starts to win and, like, knocks down Captain America. And Captain America gets... And, like, Tony's like, yeah, enough. And flashing back to the first Captain America movie, when he's, like, tiny and gets his ass kicked in the alley, I can do this all day. And Captain America finds a way, like, he fucking gets Iron Man on the ground and breaks his helmet with the shield. And you think Captain America's gonna go for the fucking kill.
And instead, he hits the Ark.
Yeah, instead of fucking going to behead Tony with his shield, he hits the Arc reactor, knocks
because Tony thinks that they're just not friends, that if he was able to keep that information from him, that he doesn't actually care about him at all. So he was just like, okay, I'm gonna die in this instance. Mm-hmm. But once again, like, Captain America proves that there are layers to every situation by just hitting the reactor.
Yeah, he takes out the reactor and then fucking grabs Buck and leaves, and, like, Tony's like, you don't deserve that shield.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, just kind of trying to hurt Captain America at this point,
yeah,
I feel.
And Cap, like, literally just throws it down, like, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore.
And then they all head back to their respective homes. Like, most of Cap's team is in prison. Tony's team is off healing, like, he's helping Rhodey rehab. And when he's helping Rhodey rehab, he gets a package, which is the Stan Lee cameo.
Yep.
Tony Stank. It was cute. It was a 3 for me.
Yeah, that was more of a, like, yeah, it was a 3. I would have to say it's a 3.
It was cute. It was fine.
Yeah.
So, he's helping Rhodey rehab, and he gets the letter from Captain America explaining, like, hey, this is what's going on.
This is why I kept it from you, but I realize now that I was wrong. And, like, but I have to stand up for what I believe in, and it shows that, like, he goes to get his friends out of prison.
Yeah, he breaks into the raft, murks a whole shit ton of people, and breaks everyone out of the raft. And
which makes you wonder how in Ant-Man and the Wasp, like, did he leave the cell? Because I don't think he did. Because I don't think Ant-Man did because of the fact that he's on house arrest the next time you see him. So
yeah.
I think he was like, I just want to go home and see my kid.
Oh,
like Hawkeye can because like his whole family's in hiding.
Yeah.
You know, but like he can't because his kid is in the public eye. His ex-wife is in the public eye. Like his family is in the public eye.
Right. So, and then, what was the post-credit scene for this? I don't remember.
No, I'm trying to think too. Oh yeah. Okay, so Cap brings Buck to Wakanda.
Right, and then also, this is one of the post-credits my friend mentioned, Captain America also gives Tony a phone every case he needs him.
Oh, yeah.
A flip phone.
Which is what's used in Infinity War. Well, but he has, like...
Well, didn't get used in Infinity War. He didn't use it, he just talked about using it. But then, like...
No, I thought he did use it because, like, they called him, and then that's how he, like, figured out, like, they were over there in freaking Europe.
I don't think he did. I think, like,
we're gonna have to rewatch that.
Yeah, we're gonna... Yeah. So, I love this movie.
I really enjoyed it. I feel like it could have... I don't know, like... This resonates as a solid 4 for me.
It ended up being a 5 after I sat on it, because I was like, yeah, it's either a high 4 or a 5.
I kept at a 4. I thought it was a 4, kept at a 4.
I went from a 3 to a 5.
That's interesting for you.
Loved it. Loved all the political...
At the same time, you're more fluctuating. That's why you're a Libra, and I'm very stubborn, which is why I'm a Taurus. So you can have those opinions, but I normally stick to my guns. So.
I really loved it. It's great. It's probably the most emotional MCU movie yet, out of the ones we've watched.
I just wanted to hold Tony and be like, "It gonna be okay."
And
also kiss Buck on the head before he got frozen. It gonna be okay. I just want to hold all my boys and just be like, "It's gonna be okay." Gushing, starts crying.
But generally loved it. Great flick.
No, I really enjoyed it too. It's just it was definitely like there were a lot of flaws, and I understand the reasoning behind the flaws, but in just my personal opinion, it's a 4 for me.
Also, way to start out Phase 3.
Right?
Like, with
I totally thought this was the end of Phase 2.
No, it was...
Like, no, I even asked you that. I was like, so this is the end of Phase 2, right? And you're just like, no, this is the beginning of Phase 3. And I was just like, what? They opened it with this?
This just the Avengers breaking up?
Yeah, the Avengers just saying, fuck everything. That's great!
So we have...
she said sarcastically.
We have Doctor Strange later this week.
Yes.
And then next week, or I guess this week, because they'll be so close to posting.
Yeah.
Is going to be Guardians 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yep.
And then Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then we done.
Not yet, because then we
then we have Endgame. And that's that. Then we really done. Like we done. So.
And if we want to continue, it will not be on this. It will not be through this outlet.
Yep.
It'll be through our outlet.
We'll let you know about that later. Anyway, hey Stephanie, what's your Twitter?
My Twitter is LILWOMAN21SW. So that's Little Woman 21 SW.
Mine is @Gamecraft with a K.
One day I'll be verified and be able to have my actual freaking Twitter.
One day.
One day.
Anyway, see you in like a day with Doctor Strange, y'all. Bye.
Peace.